At 64, Susan Boyle remains one of the most unforgettable voices to ever emerge from a talent show stage, yet her story is far more complex and heartbreaking than the viral sensation most remember. When she stepped onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent in 2009, few expected what would follow. Then she sang I Dreamed a Dream, and the world fell silent. Overnight, Susan went from a quiet, unassuming woman living in Blackburn, Scotland, to an international superstar. It was a life-changing moment that catapulted her into global fame almost instantly. But fame came with a heavy price. Susan had lived a quiet, private life for decades, coping with learning difficulties, bullying, and social isolation. Suddenly, she was thrust into the relentless glare of the media, facing constant scrutiny and expectations she had never experienced before. Within weeks of her rise to fame, she was hospitalized for exhaustion and emotional stress, a stark reminder that instant stardom can be overwhelming, even for someone with incredible talent. In 2013, Susan revealed she had been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, now recognized as part of the autism spectrum. For years, she had struggled to understand her own challenges, from social anxiety to difficulties in everyday interactions. Receiving clarity later in life was both empowering and painful, forcing her to reflect on decades of misunderstanding and isolation. Yet she turned that awareness into strength, continuing to inspire fans around the world who see themselves in her story. More recently, Susan faced another life-altering challenge, a mild stroke in 2022 that temporarily affected her speech and singing ability. For a performer whose identity is so tied to her voice, the experience was frightening. Determined not to let it define her, she worked tirelessly in rehabilitation and returned to perform on Britain's Got Talent in 2023, proving once again that resilience defines her far more than fame ever could. The tragedy of Susan Boyle is not scandal or downfall. It lies in the emotional weight of sudden global fame, the personal struggles she has faced quietly behind the scenes, and the health challenges that have tested her strength. And yet, at 64, her story remains one of perseverance. Susan Boyle continues to inspire, not just through her extraordinary voice, but through the courage, dignity, and determination with which she has navigated a life full of trials and triumphs alike.